three-dimensional world which you inhabit can be bent to your will only when you enter the fifth dimension.
Al Walkerson, Shrinkception, the man with the plan. How you doing, my man?
Very good. You?
Excellent. It's nice to see you. Nice to see you on a Sunday.
Nice to see you.
It's a rough start for me.
Really?
Well, no, not in a really bad way.
Yeah.
I stayed up late. I go to bed at 11 o'clock.
Okay, and how late did
I went to bed at 1:15. I was watching the Jake Paul Ben Askren fight last night.
Nice. Ben Askren went to sleep at 1:14.
Yes, he did. He sure did. He got up and he wanted to keep going. The ref was like, "Nah, man, you're done." Yeah. He's like, "No, man. No, I can keep going." And the ref's like, "No, man, you're done." And he's like, "No, I keep going." He's like, "Bro, your fucking brain's coming out of your eyeballs."
You enjoyed the show?
I did enjoy the show.
Cool.
I enjoyed the show. I thought it was super cool to see a live event like that.
Yeah.
That was like 4 or 5 hours long, that had comedy, that was really uncensored, that was really pushing the envelope in terms of like trying a new format. So it's like a pay-per-view, but it's not just boxing.
Yeah.
There's music incorporated, there's comedy, there's all kinds of personalities. It was like chaotic.
Yeah.
But I really appreciated the effort that they put into the production.
It was something new about it.
It was something new, and to me, it was worth the $50 to tune in.
Nice.
Because it was a fucking show. It was bananas.
Yeah.
You had Pete Davidson insulting everyone like for real.
Yeah.
Like these weren't jokes. The whole event was fun for me. It was too late. God damn, like just bring the main event a little sooner. But I guess every pay-per-view has that problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they need to.
You can't really plan, but
Why is it that they do that?
because some rounds, maybe not for that event, but let's say MMA or UFC, some rounds could go, 1 round. So some fights can last 30 seconds. Some fights can last 5 rounds. So they have to give you some sort of buffer. I don't know. It's weird.
I'm thinking maybe for advertising too. If they have a long event that they string you along on, there's more time for advertisers, so more funding available.
Yeah.
Right? That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I understand that. It's always been, even the concerts, there's always 2 more bands before Blink-182. I don't give a fuck about those opening bands. I never did.
It's true.
But what was it for? Just to get the hype?
No,
to
so
make sure no one's late?
There's a new metric it's how often like you're searched up on Google or Twitter search, or because the way you watch an event now is different than how we watched it 20 years ago, right? There wasn't a platform where you can just say all your thoughts in 2 seconds, then read what people are saying about it. Then there's memes that are creating 7 seconds after. So it's a whole experience, a new way of watching any type of events.
So they did mention on that note that everything was trending. Yeah. Like it was number 1 on trending.
It was.
Like Paul Askren or Triller, whatever it was, it was trending hard.
Yeah, it was.
Which is great, right? That's what they want. That's what the algorithm wants, right? Because that's the metric of success.
Absolutely. It's like that. It's the engagement level. And so they want to watch, It's funny because sometimes you watch just on Twitter to see how people react rather than just the actual fight itself.
Yeah, so there's multiple dimensions of the entertainment.
Yeah.
Very cool. And honestly, there were so many memeable moments, from Pete Davidson to the West Coast rappers, to all the performers, to Justin Bieber being amazing, to the main fight, to the lead-up fights. Even the lead-up fights, that guy who got knocked in the nuts.
Yeah.
Who didn't get knocked in the nuts.
No, he was over-exaggerating.
There was a slap fight that was controversial in itself because the guy kept moving. Yeah. Did you see that part?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
With Ric Flair?
Ric Flair. Woo!
Woo! He's got no more gas in the tank.
No.
He looked like he has 3 more weeks to go.
He survived like 3 heart attacks, so.
Fuck.
It's funny.
Yeah. He doesn't even look like Ric Flair anymore.
No. I think he's like 80 years old. It's crazy.
But I loved seeing him there. I'd say like every moment was as viral as they could make it.
I feel like they took kind of that world star energy and like, how can we throw that or produce?
Really?
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. It's hype. It doesn't matter that the production is not, fine-tooth comb, right? Like all perfect and sparkly. It's like, is this going to get the views?
Yeah.
Is this going to slap? Is it going to get the tweets? And that's really, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters in terms of revenue.
And there was a UFC fight happening at the exact same time. And it was this fight or this event was getting so much more traction, which just goes to show you that it's not necessarily just about the fight. It's about entertainment. So
I agree with you. So I didn't even know there was a UFC fight.
there was a UFC.
Who was fighting?
At 185, there's this guy Whitaker and Gastelum, but it wasn't like they're not big time guys. So one was a champion, but again, no one gives a shit.
No one gives a shit unless it's Connor making a mess in there.
Absolutely.
And look, gotta hand it to Jake Paul. He plays the villain card pretty well.
Yep.
And he gets very hateable.
And that's what it's all about, right? Only few people know. There's a lot of people saying that the fight was rigged and whatnot, but it creates kind of this other storyline all in itself. So,
Yeah, that keeps propagating, that keeps going.
yeah. And there's one man that figured that out a long time ago. I'll name drop him again.
Dude.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Absolutely. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. When I was watching it, I was like, Trin would love this.
Yeah.
Because it's got the ethos of wrestling in it.
100%.
You don't know what's fake. You don't know what's real.
Yeah.
That's something that I really cherish, is not knowing what is real and what is not.
Yeah.
I love that. That mystery of what the fuck is going on here.
Yeah.
Like, even from the fight being rigged to Pete Davidson saying fucked up shit and being blocked out by that. You know, they blocked out the screen when he said something.
Yeah.
It was it's pretty damn entertaining.
Well, look, besides the money, are we still talking about how many other people in the world are talking about the fight this morning?
Yeah.
And that's the winning metric.
And I think the true winning metric, or the true point to take away, is it's not about the fight. Is it about how much noise you can make with the fight? Yeah. That's why I talk about F1. The race today was great. It was fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm a little beat up, because I ate too many cookies last night, which was the plan. Mm-hmm. Slept late, woke up early to watch the race. And it was a lovely race. But it's never about the race. It's about the chaos. It's about the blah, blah. It's about the chirp. It's about what is really going on. And I feel like I hate this term, masterclass. They say it in F1. You know, when Lewis wins, Lewis was a masterclass. And I'm like, so fucking lame. But I feel like that Triller Fight Club last night was a masterclass in getting attention.
Yeah, for sure.
There was so many components going on, and it was live. Mm-hmm. It went off without a fucking hiccup.
Yeah, it's crazy. And huge fan base. They've been promoting it for a while. Just the 3 TikTok girls that were on there is like combined, I don't know,
100 million?
Yeah, 100 million followers. So
yeah. And Jake Paul was there, Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Those guys combined is what?
Yeah.
40, 50, 60 million themselves?
Crazy. Yeah.
And then you have Snoop, and then you have Ice Cube,
and then you had
Justin Bieber.
The entire MMA community, right? Because it was one of their own getting knocked out, and then so it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. And even there were like some rappers at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I recognized the songs from TikTok, and those rappers, I love them. Like, I really enjoyed what they're doing. Like, you only hear, like, you know that song, this beat that just goes, nope, yep.
Yeah.
That guy was epic. He was insane. And there was this girl before. I thought the artists were better than the fights.
Yeah.
The fights were pretty sad.
Yeah.
But they were so short too. So I thought that's the future of entertainment, man.
Absolutely.
Big ticket. It's like going to a concert that you're watching live,
mm-hmm.
and just wait till they can fill stadiums and do that shit. There were a lot of people there too. Not really fans, but just a lot.
Where was the fight? I didn't even know where the fight was.
Atlanta.
Nice.
Yeah, unless I'm wrong, but I think it was Atlanta. Nice. It was just fun. So entertainment. It's all about entertainment.
Yeah.
It's not about who's the best singer. It's about who makes the best show, right? It's not about who's the best fighter in the world. Obviously, there's a market for the best of the best of the best.
Yeah.
But who's going to bring the action?
Yeah, it's crazy. Especially everyone cooped up, or most of the world cooped up. It's like, what else did you have to do? You know, from 9 to 12 on a Saturday night.
Yeah, it's a perfect time.
Yeah.
It's a perfect time to just sit back and enjoy the show. So I was digging it. It was inspiring to watch. Even though like the trash talk was low level, the announcers were ridiculous. But it knew itself, right? It was on point with what it was trying to do. And it was a gong show. So I liked it. I liked that it was chaos. It was almost like Celebrity Deathmatch.
That's true.
You know, from back in the day.
Yeah. On MTV.
Yeah. Mario Lopez. Like it was just a crazy, fun event. So yeah, I enjoyed myself.
Cool.
That was worth it. I'll definitely be tuning into the next Jake Paul fight.
Nice. I think Logan is fighting Floyd Mayweather next.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane though. No, but that's like not even close. Is it but it's a crazy size discrepancy, but still.
It's all about, and I listen to a lot of like Dana White research, and that's why everyone likes the fight game, because for whatever reason, when there's a fight, everyone is a fucking expert. Like everyone becomes an expert. And that's what it's interesting about the fight game. It's like, yeah, Floyd, the odds should be, 99.999.9 to 1. But what if? And that's why people tune in, is because of the what if.
Yeah. And the fact that they're going to do it is like, fuck it. They're going to put on another crazy show.
100%.
They're going to get the numbers.
Yeah.
If you get a guy in there like Floyd Mayweather,
yeah.
Money Mayweather, people are tuning in.
Who figured this out?
I'm watching it.
Who figured this out a long time ago.
Yeah, he was apparently the villain a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I'm watching.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch.
There's all people want is a storyline, and that's a storyline in itself. What if arguably the best boxer of all time happens to be on the wrong day and gets clipped and loses his perfect record? He's 49-0
against, as they call it, a YouTuber.
Apparently,
like they say like YouTubers like as if they're like
Yeah.
the lowest level human possible. They're not like these hardworking people who developed and excavated their niches and worked tremendously hard to build amazing followings and build businesses.
Yeah.
No, they're just YouTubers.
or great entertainers. Like Logan Paul was on WrestleMania 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
What was he doing? Was he like fighting?
No, he was like kind of like a guest, and so he was at ringside and then celebrated with the guy at the end, and then he got Stone Cold Stunnered. Yeah.
By who?
By this guy Kevin Owens from Marieville, Quebec.
Fuck off,
Yeah.
Marieville.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Marieville. I think my dad bought an RV from Marieville.
They actually near Trois-Rivières in Marieville. That's where it is. There's if you drive by, there's like a whole slew of like RVs.
Yeah. Okay, so it rings a bell.
Yeah.
It rings a bell. And Logan Paul is a fucking specimen of a dude. Jake Paul too, but Logan's like way bigger and way more shredded, and he's gonna go up against Mayweather. But what's Logan Paul's like?
He fought. He fought before his brother did. Actually, he started fighting before his brother.
Yeah, no,
did.
but what's his record?
He's 0-2-1. I think he. Yeah.
So that's what he's going into fighting Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah. But he has more followers and he has a bigger fan base.
Yeah, it's not about how good you are.
No.
It's about how many eyeballs at the end of the day. That's all that matters.
That's it.
Fucking eyeballs. And these guys know. I love it. Everyone could be chirping, oh, YouTube this, or he's only doing it for the money that. It's like, dude, if it was up to you,
Yeah.
would you not do the thing that brought you the biggest bang for your buck?
100%.
At all times. We are always trying to do things that bring us the biggest bang for our buck.
And so even Ben Askren, so his fights, I think he earned like $250,000 in the UFC. Last night he got like $600K for punching out a lot quicker than he did in the UFC. So.
Oh, he lasted longer in the UFC?
Yeah, way longer. Like he had.
And you say his cumulative was like $250K,
or
like his average,
or like just one fight was $250. So last night he made $600 salary without. I'm assuming he got a portion of the buys too, because that's really where most of the fighters make their money.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in terms of negotiation, it was a good matchup for Jake Paul.
100%. Because
it's a guy who's actually a fighter.
Yeah.
Not some weird basketball player who's running around.
Exactly.
That was the ugliest fight ever.
And no, it was a smart fight by Jake Paul.
Yeah, and Ben Askren was the right guy.
Yeah.
The supply met the demand.
Yep.
He seems like a really good guy.
And like Jake Paul knew that the guy wasn't a boxer. That's why he chose him. But he's an MMA guy. So also, I'm interested to see who
It's simple.
his next
MMA
fight.
guy.
Yeah.
That's it. You attach it to that. He's not, he's actually from the sport of fighting.
Yeah.
So that's great. I never knew, I know I've been chirped in the comments for being a Rogan, poor man's Rogan.
Oh, really?
And now we're talking about fighting.
That's hilarious.
That is funny. But look, I'm growing out my hair now, see, and my beard, because I've created a character that only exists in the digital realm. So now I can be my true self. What do you think about that?
No, it's great. It's gonna be fun.
It's going to be very cool.
Yeah.
Yes, MISCHO in the fifth dimension. It's coming, fellow time travelers. So what's the update since last week? Because I'm keeping you updated. Last week we played you the trailer.
Yeah.
I got some really nice feedback from the trailer.
Yeah.
You guys dug the songs, dug the look. But since then we've been qualifying leads for a week.
Yeah.
And this week the sales team will be reaching out.
I think the lesson is, just keep going, and there's no downside to just keep going, because you're gonna end up somewhere that you were not the week before, which can either be good or bad, but you will be forward. And so, do you want to talk a bit about this thing led to another, and now you're in a place where I don't know how much you want to share, but it's pretty cool, which is a cool lesson for everyone.
Yeah. So my sales rep, or my what do you call Juliet's role?
Call it business development.
Well, my head of business development
Yeah.
is going to be sniping leads.
Yeah.
And we have certain strategies of how best to do that.
Yeah.
And her profile is currently being built.
Yeah.
So she could not snipe yet this week.
Yeah.
Because she was building her profile.
Yeah.
Getting the things done. But in the meantime, I was working on my album cover, the artwork. And I've been talking to you long time now about, or I don't know when this comic book idea emerged.
2017. No.
Really? No. I don't know when it emerged, but I've been talking about it at least for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
That I see it as a comic. I see it as a character. I see this as a bigger world. I see this as the Matrix meets Power Rangers with music.
Yeah.
So I saw it as something like that. And this week I said, I'm going to do some research on Instagram. I'm going to find some talented artists, some comic book artists to look. It's essentially a shot in the dark, because you never know what you're going to get. You never know what the line of communication is going to be. And working in collaboration with people is usually difficult when you're separated, when you're in the DMs.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was going to find someone, go on a Zoom call, do all that bullshit, because in the studio, you can't just be yo, a hi-hat a little lower in the DMs, because it'll be 65 million DMs. And you know what I mean? Face to face.
Yeah.
Like this. I found this guy, a comic book artist, decent following, reached out to him. He reached right back. And I said, I'm looking for some comic style art for my album cover. Check out my profile. This is my look. This is my uniform. This is this and that. It's kind of like a time travel rock and roll thing. Here's the trailer, so you get the vibe of the music. And I'm looking for, I'm looking to see what comes to your mind.
Yeah.
So he says, I've got a few ideas. Do you have any ideas? And I said, well, I've been working with this Leonardo da Vinci Vitruvian Man idea. And the Vitruvian Man is the naked dude who's arms out cross, his legs out, but there's extra arms and extra legs. And it's in this perfect symmetry. And I love Leonardo da Vinci. I love these guys who were polymaths, who were amazing in multiple, mathematics, philosophy, biology, the sciences. So I said, I fucking dig that. There's something cool about it. I tried to fuck around and make some designs, and it looks so horrible. And all I said was, my profile and my vibe plus Vitruvian Man. He said, okay, I have some time in the next few days, and I'll work on it, and I'll send you something. Next morning, I woke up, because he's in Italy.
Yeah.
So he starts earlier. And he said, yo, I was feeling inspired. I had some time. What do you think of this design? And I was like, whoa. It just opened a whole world that now made the comic possibility a reality. Because it's always a thing to say, oh, I want to do a show. I want to make a movie. Unless you're sitting on a script, or you're looking at the artwork, or you actually see it tangibly, it doesn't hit.
Yeah.
And I got the first demo. He's like, this is a sketch. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this is a fucking sketch? This is sick.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I love it. Go forward on this idea. What's your price? He told me his thing. It worked for me. And he said, sure, I'll give you an update tomorrow. So next day, he sent me a sketch of me, with the suit and in this anime style with the armband and the shoes and fucking everything. And I was like, holy shit, like this is real now.
Yeah.
And not only am I making, like, are the thoughts becoming reality, but he's almost making it in real time.
Yeah.
Which is
super important, in my opinion.
It's super important. Any kind of business you're doing, any kind of, like, that's, time is the ultimate weapon if you have if you want to have a competitive advantage. Time.
Yes.
Well, yeah, time travel.
Yeah.
But if you can get, if you're working with someone, I don't know, if you're a freelancer or you do anything, if you can get the results to the person faster than anyone else,
yeah,
you will never be out of work, ever. Because people want instant gratification. That's the world we live in.
100%.
Like I was looking at some pictures yesterday. I got an email from a friend. That email took 1 second to come in my inbox, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, fuck, they, way back in the day, they would send it by like horse mail, you know? So it's like, oh, I have these photos for you, and you get them in 2 months.
Or hawks.
Or hawks, falcons, I don't know, some fucking ravens, you know?
Yeah.
With a note. And then it's like, then there's what? Then there's like the post office, which is a black hole. You don't even know if it's, like, it comes, but it comes when it wants. Yeah. And all that says, we live in an instant world. If you're working with someone and you want that repeat business and you want to keep getting it, you got to give it quick. Mm-hmm. And this person I'm working with is young-ish, like 21. It's pretty young. But does it and gives it when they say, which is the best thing you can ask for.
Amazing.
And where was I? So I looked at it and I'm like, this is fucking amazing. And I'm like, oh, can you throw this logo in there too? He's like, well, I was thinking about doing that. And so he sends me immediately. Like, I didn't have to wait a day. He sent it to me immediately. And I'm like, well, you know, it looks a little busy. It doesn't look as good as without anything. Long story short, the next day I wake up, he sends me this epic artwork and it's pretty much done. The only tweaks I had was like to my custom guitar.
Yeah.
But that's it. And I'm like, wow, in 2.5 days, I got my artwork done. Where other artwork has been like pulling teeth. And like, I've worked with people for weeks and not even used it.
Yeah.
And just took a picture of something and it looked better.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to send it to you as soon as I got it, because I wanted to show it you in person and talk about it and discuss it. Because you're a man who gets excited when you see a tangible product. Mm-hmm. Ideas are great for you, but I could tell they mean fuck all to you. Mm-hmm. Because you can't do anything with an idea. You need this. So I showed you today. And I'm like, dude, this is the future of where this world is going. This is the future of perhaps me not as an artist in this 3D world, but perhaps as an artist in a virtual world. We're talking about digital assets. We're talking about avatars all the time. We're talking about the simulation. Where's the white space? Where can I have a competitive advantage? Like, why would you start a business that's like Google's competitor? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
There's so many amazing artists. There's so many people who look fucking way cooler than me. Yeah. Machine Gun Kelly looks cooler than me when he's sleeping. Yeah. But if I can create a character that looks fucking way cooler than him, that is completely different. Now we're talking. And then I can collaborate with him in the comic book.
Yeah.
So what'd you think?
No, it looks amazing. I think it's not even, you were talking about artists. Might not even be an artist. It might be a fucking, it opens up a lot of possibilities. So I think it's cool. I think it's cool that none of it, Wayne Gretzky, right once again, 100% of the shots you don't take, you end up missing. So
how do you put that into context?
In terms of when you just, you've been wanting to do this comic and like just message people and you never know.
And you never know. And the first thing that came back was fucking radical.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And because I love to create and I love to use my imagination to create stuff that people think are bizarre until they see it. And then it's like, oh, it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what I really love to do. So to be an artist, yeah, sure, I'm an artist, but maybe like Stan Lee, Stan Lee, I fucking love.
Yeah.
Chaim Saban, I really fucking love, of Power Rangers, Stan Lee, Marvel Comics. But if I can incorporate comics and like The Matrix, Power Rangers, music, and put them in together and work with great people to get it done, because I write great songs, but when I write with other people, I write better songs. I can produce my own shit, but when I work with producers, I make better productions. When I work with artists, my art or doodles come to life way better in ways that I can't imagine. So essentially, I'm the Steve Jobs of art, bro. I'm the Steve Jobs of art. Steve Jobs wasn't an engineer. He wasn't particularly a programmer, but he knew how to piece this fucking shit together. He knew what he wanted. He knew how to put it together because I can explain shit easily, right? That's why I was good at sales.
Yeah.
Because I could explain things simply. Maybe that's what I'm good at. So I was able to explain to this guy in one paragraph, and he gave me something that was exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
I didn't waste his fucking time. He gave it to me. And I want to build a world, man, and tell stories. And in the beautiful internet age that we live in, building, let's say, a comic, book one, whatever the hell it is, whatever format it is, whether it's a narration or actually drawings, who cares what it is, but we can market it.
Yeah.
We can market it and sell it and see if anyone gives a fuck. And then just like in the fight yesterday, we can sell merch within the thing. We can sell NFTs in the thing because we live in a new world. So why not take all the newest parts of this world to kill it? But at the end of the day, just building cool shit and making it exciting for people and getting some traction, building the time travelers. Because this MISCHO character now is not me. This is Mick. This is the old boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? MISCHO is this creation in the 5D universe in Earth 2137.
Yeah. It's cool. He kind of looks like Dr. Manhattan's son or something like that.
Yeah. He looks like Dr. Manhattan's son with a pseudo Power Rangers outfit.
It's fucking sick.
And plays a guitar like Tom DeLonge.
Yes. With blazers on.
With Nike blazers on. And so I'm just excited because the imagination gets to run wild and it's bigger than just me. Like I'm still pitching the album. I'm still pitching to sync. I'm still pitching everything. But I don't know, it just speaks to me more. You know what I mean?
It's cool. And it's only like a couple of days old too. Like seeing something tangible that can open up a world of possibilities. Usually now it's where the momentum starts going. And
yeah, because the momentum has been going, but now it's like it's going even further, especially at the right time.
Yeah.
It's just exciting to me.
It's I mean, you can think about the iPhone all you want, but once you see a prototype, it's cool. Once it can actually, have a Wi-Fi signal. Imagine like the first iPhone with Wi-Fi signal. It's not just an iPod anymore. And you call your mom. It's like, wow, I can call my mom. Now it's like game over.
Yeah.
Then the world of possibilities opens.
But it's always bizarre when you can see it and visualize it in your head, but you don't have the tangible product. You've lost almost everyone.
Yeah.
Right? It's not even... Like I can tell it to you. I can tell it to my brother. There's a few people that I can explain these things. But until I have... this, it's not there. But that's what I do, man. I create stuff and I dig it. And so yeah, this world is for the time travelers. It's to build the time travelers. Earth 2137. That's what goes on. Dr. Algo, the arch nemesis. Like that's for sure. And essentially it's the feed, but in comic book form.
Yeah.
I don't know if it can be as absurd as the feed, but I want to make it like whatever it's going to be. So what do we need to do? Draft episode 1?
Yeah. Story.
Comic 1?
Yeah.
So I need to find out the format of a comic.
Yeah.
Write out, I always work backwards. Write out what I want to accomplish with the episode and work backwards from that.
Yeah.
Who do I want to introduce? Am I the sole character? Are there more characters? And it's not me. MISCHO is the character.
It's going to be fun. Do we know if George Lucas had all 6 episodes written out?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
I tend to think that he kind of did. I know that when he shot the first movie, he only shot like 20% of what he wanted to shoot.
Interesting.
Because he ran out of money. He thought he was going bankrupt.
Yeah.
I told you, right, when he was releasing the movie, they told him how many theaters would open up to, and like a 50th of what he thought.
Yeah.
So it was a surefire disaster. He thought his wife was going to leave him because he was going to be bankrupt because he spent their savings. And then the movie made $700 million.
It's crazy.
You know what the budget was?
No.
I think it was $12 million.
Wow.
Yeah. And it opened up a world of fucking excitement and cinematic technology, merchandise.
Yeah.
They couldn't make a fucking sequel sooner. They couldn't do it sooner, man. But that excites me, man, the world building. And I love music, so why not incorporate that?
Yeah.
It's all about vibes. What if there's other time travelers out there? What if all we're looking for in life is to find other time travelers or other people like us? You know, we always, if you're an alternative kid, if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably a little different than the norm, like the mass. And you're always like trying to find your tribe. What if this is the story of finding your tribe? You know?
Kind of like when you're at a concert and you just want to find people that enjoy the same music as you.
Yeah, so you go to that show and you can connect with all those people. You're all on the same wavelength.
Mhm.
You're enjoying the show. You're having a great time.
Yeah.
And just building that community of time travelers. And what if that community of time travelers in the real world affects like the storyline? You know?
Mhm. Who
Who the fuck knows? But I think it's like unlimited, uncharted territory. Because I'm not just saying make a comic book.
Yeah.
You can never just do the same thing. How can we elevate this? The digital world is coming. The avatars are getting ready. The blockchains are being socially proven.
Yeah.
It's a cool time, man.
There's a lot of ways you can go with it, for sure.
Yeah. But we got to get that first thing out. We got to get that first, put it out into the market and see who bites. And it's got to be like over the top. It can't be subtle. That's what I was thinking about yesterday when I was watching that fight night. It couldn't be subtle. Nothing was subtle. None of the performers were subtle. None of the things that any of the announcers said was subtle. Mario Lopez was like the safest because he has a career actually outside of this. But the rest of the people were just fucking disgraces in the best way.
Yeah.
Everything was over the top. It's like they gave it everything they had yesterday. They didn't pull any punches in that production.
Yeah. It's cool.
The gut punches, man. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm blah, blahing about it, but just trying to see if it leads anywhere. A lot of this podcast is me like talking way more than I should.
It's all good.
What do you think?
Hey,
Should I slow it down, let you talk more?
No, if that inspires people, or ask the people.
Yeah, do I talk too much? Do I blah, blah? Or do you like hearing my ramblings that go off too long?
I think it's cool, especially if it's on a weekly basis. People get to see the journey of where Omek and MISCHO is at.
Yeah, because I agree. Because at least if you're tuning in and you give a shit, you're seeing the progression. You're seeing that new things are happening.
Yeah.
So like last week we were talking about pitching. Well, the pitching process started, not the actual pitching, but the prep.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, I made an album cover. So the album cover's done, and it opened a world to something else. And I've always been so immersed by the movie world and the music and all that stuff. So how can they live together? My problem is I always see like really far, but you have to take steps.
Yeah,
Good
100%.
God. Was that me or you?
No, that's mine.
Okay. We got to take steps to build towards stuff. But with you, it's you've taught me the simplicity of it. It's like have something to sell, market it, see how it goes, do it again. It's not that complicated.
That's all there is.
So that's why with music, it's harder. Because with music, it's like you put out the music.
Yeah.
That's why you need record labels. You got to front load the money. You got to put out the music and then build a fan base and then sell them stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really the most efficient business model. But if you can go out of the gate with a cool product, right? It's like if you sell cool shoes, make an ad for cool shoes.
It's true.
Did anyone buy them? But if you make an ad for a guy who makes shoes who doesn't sell them, what the fuck are you? What the fuck? Good God! But it's a sweet progression, and I'm excited.
It's gonna be cool.
That's why I didn't shave. I want to see how it looks. I'm growing out the hair. I'm gonna grow a mullet, a skullet.
A skullet.
A skullet. So just in the back.
Couple longue.
Couple longue. Yeah. No skullet for me. I like to keep it classy. This is about as thick as I'll go. But what else is on tap, Lockie?
That's it. I was just excited to see. Just keep moving forward. Time travelers listening out there, it's like, just keep moving forward and good things are going to happen.
Time travel is really forward momentum, right?
Yeah.
It's like if you didn't accomplish something new this week, then you were in the loop.
100%. Because honestly, there is nothing worse than not moving. It's like traffic, right? Arguably, there's nothing worse than traffic. So if
Especially when you want to go somewhere.
even worse.
Yeah. You're traffic, you're just gridlocked.
Yeah.
And it's a terrible feeling. So it is the feeling of I did a lot of stuff that kept me busy this week, but did I add something to my equation that altered my programming in somewhat, right? Did I shift something?
I think so.
I know I did.
Yeah.
And I know I do every week.
Yeah.
But now it's really starting to see it. First of all, getting the trailer.
Yeah.
April 1st. Working towards that. Okay, a pitchable product. Great music. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Then getting a business development person on board. Another fucking development.
Yeah. And arguably now you've added a new line of product.
A new line of product is maybe the driver of all products. Maybe this is the thing that connects everything in time travel entertainment.
Yeah.
So next week, got to add more. Got to do more. Storylines got to be done next week.
Yeah.
Of V1. And man, remember I was talking about, obviously you remember because I keep bringing it up. But when I was talking about Transformers, they had these Japanese toys and they didn't hire like Disney writers to make the story and write the names. They got some guy who made copies or something. They're like, yo, Brad, we need a story.
Yeah.
And we need it on Saturday. He's like, okay. They're like, we need 50 names of characters. We'll give you the toys. He's like, okay. And that was it. The deadline was the creator, not the talent.
Oh.
So obviously collaborating with like epic talent, but you need to get things out. You need to start it.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it. Just fucking do it.
Just do it. Megatron.
You're Megatron.
Optimus Prime. Bumblebee.
So many crazy names. But think about that. And I remember it stuck with me as soon as I watched that, the Toys That Made Us.
Yeah.
Like it like clicked something because it finally made sense. Build something awesome that you love, that has a story.
Yeah.
And within that story, that's where that's the driver of everything. That's why YouTubers do great, because they're essentially telling a story on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
They're usually being very practical, or they make funny videos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that thing. But at the end of the day, it's the same formula. My thing is just like creating things.
Yeah. I think as long as your characters are cool, that's usually the formula for success. Because kids, they just want to be cool. So if there's someone that they can relate to, do you think every kid that grows up, whether it be a boy or girl, looks at a character? Because at some point you have to run into some sort of comic book or Disney story.
For sure.
Like
every kid.
For sure, every kid's like, oh, that's cool. That's who I relate to. And that identity is probably inception at a very early age.
Yeah, it's not like, what is the like social model that I want to be?
Yeah.
Who was yours?
There was so many, right, with all the wrestling characters, but like the Power Rangers.
But a specific character, whether it was from wrestling or Power Rangers.
Yeah, I your brother's gonna love this because he always called me out on this. From Dragon Ball Z, there was a character named Trunks, and he was from the future. And it wasn't the main guy, but he was from the future, and he was like kind of cool, dark, mysterious. Wasn't like the main character, and like so they spent, I'd say, like 24 comics trying to destroy this character named Frieza.
Okay.
And so literally imagine a whole movie trying to destroy this character, and like they literally lost half of the characters trying to beat this guy. And then start of season 3, let's say, episode 1. So they introduced Trunks, who's from the future.
In episode 3?
Yeah.
Or season 3, whatever?
Yeah. And then the bad guy comes back and it's like, oh, fuck this guy again. And he literally obliterates him in like 3 seconds.
No shit.
Yeah. And only because he had the knowledge and he had already been through the battle. So.
Okay. So he was a survivor from the future of this guy.
Yeah. And then what he came to the earth that they were on to warn them that like obviously introduced a bigger threat that was about to come. That's always cool. That's been the same way with Power Rangers and any kind of comics. That's like, as soon as you beat this villain,
there's another one,
another bigger one.
It's like everything in life.
Everything.
It never ends. It only ends when the eyes close and never open again.
Yeah. Whether you just got a promotion or you just sold a company or just moving on from a relationship, you think you just beat.
You think you figured it out. You think you got it under control, and then boom.
Yeah.
Life happens.
What about yours? Batman?
The OG was Batman for sure.
Before Spider-Man?
Spider-Man was never... Spider-Man was more my brother.
Yeah.
Batman was always for me. He was always doing things, doing good, and never getting any credit for it.
That sounds like Misha.
Yeah, man. Doing the right thing all the time.
Yeah.
And his Bruce Wayne character was always getting shit. He had to act like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, he was doing everything he could for the good. So I always loved Batman. I loved the White Ranger / Green Ranger because he was the most evil, then he became the most good.
Yeah.
He was good. And who else was like, Iron Man never spoke to me. Jean-Luc Picard, man.
Really?
Fucking
Jean-Luc.
He's a legend. Jean-Luc Picard is like, he's like a voice of reason. He makes calls without knowing the full outcome, right? Like he doesn't have all the data, but he's like you. He has that 60% or 51%.
Yeah.
Make it so. Make it so, number one.
Jean-Luc,
but he came later in life. Like I only really started watching Star Trek like in 2015, 16.
So Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Yeah. Bruce Wayne, Batman. But now I start to see how flawed he is.
Yeah.
So I'm not really interested in Batman anymore because he was always trying to do things alone. And when you do things alone and don't ask for help, life is way worse.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a trap. You need to collaborate. You need to work with others. You need to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
So I've learned that. And so Batman, as I grow up, seems more moronic to me than anything. It's like, why do you keep doing this alone? Yeah, there's the Justice League, but you're still not making friends with anybody.
Yeah.
You need a team. You need a team. You need people to work with. You don't need to do it alone. There's more than just darkness. Come on, man.
For sure.
But aesthetically, he was always so cool looking. Just like Spider-Man. Batman and Spider-Man just always looked so cool.
Yeah.
I love the look of the black Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah. The symbiote Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy was cool.
And they did that with Miles Morales. They kind of like made a hybrid suit that kind of looks like those dark elements. But when you knew Spider-Man's character for so long and how it looked, but then you saw that all black suit with the big white eyes and a huge white spider.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's so sick.
Or Batman Beyond. Did you like that guy?
Yeah.
Because he was kind of like a Spider-Man. He was like a skinny Batman.
Yeah. What was his name? Something Terry McGinnis.
Yes.
Terry McGinnis. I always liked the Joker. Now I like villains.
Okay.
I like villains because it's fun exploring. A good villain has a good reason. And even though the good guys are against the villain, he has a reason that he believes, or she has a reason that she believes. And I like putting myself in that perspective because I often see that that's the voice of not necessarily evil in society, but like it's an opinion that matters and that needs to be addressed and that really runs the real world. Yeah. Like you need to make tough calls in life and you need to do things that are obviously exaggerated by the comics, but I like that perspective. So I identify more with villains now than I do with the heroes. Because the heroes, I find sometimes fight a fight that's like not worth fighting. That's why I have to see where the fifth dimension is going to take the time travelers.
I think the kids need a new type of heroes.
Yeah, it's time.
Yeah. Because you're right. As you grow older, you start hating all of the heroes
they're like lame.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're almost like they're fucking pussies, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, no, if you wanna make change, you gotta do serious shit.
Superman's the ultimate simp, so to say.
He is, huh?
Yeah.
I've never been interested by Superman. Yeah.
Except Dean Cain. Dean Cain was fucking the man.
You're fucking right about that.
Yeah.
I fucking love Dean Cain. Yeah. Superman, Lois and Clark Superman.
Because he was the funniest one. He was
light and funny.
Yeah.
He had Lois, who was so fucking hot.
Terry Hatcher, not even the hottest.
The hottest Lois Lane.
Not even close.
By far.
Yeah.
I was I don't know, in grade school when that was out, and I absolutely loved that.
Yeah. Dean Cain was the fucking man.
Oh, you know who else I connected with?
Who?
But Dean Cain was epic. And is he Asian?
I think so.
What is he? He's like some of those people that you don't know what they are. Like Keanu Reeves. What the fuck is Keanu Reeves?
Yeah. Or Paul Korea.
Or Paul Korea? I don't know. They're like everything in one.
Yeah. So who else you connect with?
Fox Mulder. Fox Mulder of the fucking X-Files. Thank you very much.
Did he have any superpowers or no?
No, man. He just had a
I feel like he had one
knowledge.
that he couldn't die. Like I feel like that was his superpower.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
During a contract dispute, he like disappeared for 3 seasons.
Okay.
And then he came back. They said he got abducted or something. But Fox Mulder had a hunger for knowledge, and he searched for the truth. He lost his sister at a young age to a apparent alien abduction.
Yeah.
And his whole life was not was dedicated to discovering the truth about aliens.
Yeah.
And the cover-ups. And maybe that's the conspiracy vibe, or like the
Fox Mulder, as Donnie would say, is a nasty guy.
Fox Mulder is an epic guy. Nasty guy. No, Seymour. Is it Seymour Skinner? No, that's from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Skinner from like Mulder's boss. That was a fucking nasty guy. But yeah, the X-Files, man. The X-Files was so good because I just loved UFOs always. Since I was a little kid, maybe even before the X-Files.
Yeah.
I remember for my birthday or for Christmas, I asked my mom always for UFO books so I can learn about aliens and see all these things. And I don't even know what the fuck they're based on, but I've been obsessed with that stuff from a young age. Then I heard the song Aliens Exist. I'm like, what? Tom DeLonge of Blink-182 is into aliens? Then he left Blink for aliens.
So Fox Mulder,
Tom
punk rock music.
Yeah?
AKA Good Charlotte, or that fucking comic. What was it?
What comic?
Oh
yeah, the undergrads.
The undergrads, which was Fox Mulder.
Was it?
The main character, yeah. It's I think that's who it's based on.
Nits.
I
don't remember that show at all though. Maybe I need to check that out. But that makes sense. Because look, Fox Mulder with punk rock.
Yeah.
And who else? Not Good Charlotte, but Tom DeLonge.
Yeah.
Star Trek. It's really our influences are everything that we love combined into one.
100%.
Little Batman. Who knows? I'm excited to see where this goes. And it doesn't even matter. It's like, just get started and then it's going to go somewhere. Because I think the idea is so fucking sick.
Yeah.
And it just looks so cool. You saw what it looks like. Describe to the people of the Federation if it hit your vibe.
Yeah, it was cool. It was, as a guy that's watched a lot of kind of cartoons and animes and animated characters, I say it's very unique on its own. It doesn't have that like Linkin Park cartoon vibe because that's very dark. It's just very cool. I don't know how to explain it. I'd say the closest thing would be a cooler version of the old Daft Punk music videos.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because they used to be cartoon.
Yeah,
I love that. Fucking love that.
Like One More Time was a cartoon, and they had a whole series. So, who knows?
Yeah. And they were guys who were not really out in the limelight, you know?
Yeah.
They loved being their characters and they loved producing amazing music.
Yeah.
But their personal life was pretty much cut off. No one knew who they were.
Mm-hmm.
And I post and stuff, and I talk on the podcast, but for the most part, I'm a pretty private person.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about this stuff because it's like the art and the work and the process. But I love that anonymity that comes with it too. Like even my brother, we were talking about that. He loves, like he's out there and he's like a persona and stuff, but there's no real personal stuff that comes out. It's just like, it's ideas, you know, that he talks about. So it just resonates with me. I don't have that gene, and neither does he. You know that the urge to be famous?
Yeah.
Like the necessity to be famous. And it's not a bad thing. It's just something you have or you don't. Like Lady Gaga has that, or Liam Gallagher. Or I don't know. Even Tom, does Tom even have that? Or did he just right place, right time?
I think
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But there's certain, like, I don't know. Like Jake Paul has that, right?
Yeah.
Like they have this thing.
I think because going back to the comic books, I think when you grow up, you're kind of taught that the pinnacle of success is to be famous, right? And as you grow older, you're like, I don't want to talk to less people. You know, it's actually not about being famous. It's about, you know, creating something of value and have an impact. And I like you said, the way you do that isn't through kind of being famous. It's through the work that you put out through the subconscious, right? Because
it's like, what is your message through the work that you're doing, or what value are you providing?
100%.
Yeah, because if you can do what you love to do and live a nice private life, to me, that's just a lovely thing. Sure, I like to be recognized. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I rather be more Bruce Wayne in that domain. You know? You know? Because
it's all in the work that you do. You said Steve Jobs before, right? He will, you know, you don't necessarily know him for the personality that he is. You know him for the work that he was able to put together and leave the mark on
yeah,
his
like obviously he had some, like, a great story and great you know, buzz clips about what he said and how he believed and things like that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, his product did the work for him. Right? Same with Elon.
Your product should always same for Kanye, right? Like I'm assuming when he first started, he's like, I want to be the best rapper. I want to be known for this. And then as you get older, you're like, oh.
Well, it just makes more sense.
Yeah.
It's more feasible. It's more like quality of life is the number one. And your work is going to represent where you're at.
I think I know why. It's because, again, once you grow up in the Hollywood's the pinnacle, you want to be the guy or the gal. But then there's a reason all of these, you know, public figures, they transition to becoming producers. Number one, you make shit tons more money than actually being the actor most of the time. And I think it's always going to be more gratifying to see someone else succeed or your work and your art succeed at the end of the day. That's why you're always so hesitant. But like, no, I don't want to be the guy. I want to create something that's bigger than
me. Yeah, because I it's like, I don't know. I don't have this inner narcissist thing. Maybe that's the wrong word, to like want to be the guy. Like, I don't want to compete with other people who are trying to be the coolest guy in the room.
Yeah.
Like, I find that I have no desire to battle someone.
I think you have a phase that's like between an 18 and 30 to do that, and it's cool. It's like, you know, gladiator style. But even after that, you kind of grow out of it. Arguably the most showman person ever, MJ, Michael Jordan, right? Like, I'm the guy. Nobody's even close. I'm cocky and I will win. I'm undefeated. And then, you know, as you get older, it's not about you. It's about changing the world and having a bigger impact.
Yeah. Because I guess if you're an actor and you end up being a producer, it's like you go in with something that you have, a natural ability. Mm-hmm. But then you can do different things, right? Like Post Malone, even with his booze, like he loves to get drunk. He's going in as an amazing artist, but he's using his talent to eventually get him something that will allow him to live a more private life.
Yeah.
Right? So who knows? I just
it's no different than Luke Skywalker, right? You're the Jedi until later on your journey is you realize it wasn't about being the Jedi. It's about kind of keeping the Jedi mindset alive and seeing other Jedis pop up.
Exactly. That's been your focus for a long time.
Yeah.
With Totem.
Yeah.
And now with the businesses that you run. But yeah, it's essentially it. And like, I don't have that hunger to like put out videos. I just don't have it. But I have a hunger to work 25 hours a day on making some really cool shit.
Yeah.
So that's what you should go towards, you gravitate towards, right?
Yeah.
Because, or else, like Mark Vesperini would say, like, does it feel like you're swimming against the current? And sometimes that stuff, yeah, for sure. I rather create stuff.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist. That's just This is what it is. But does that mean there's not music coming out? No, that means there's going to be more music coming out. That means, because it's all about shooting your shot in the most, like as you say, in a snipe. If you want to make music, you want to find a way to get the most people possible to listen to your music.
Yeah.
Right? That's the idea. Just like if you're doing a job, when you go to your job interviews, you want to take the job that offers you the most money, right?
Yeah.
There's got to be a balance, right? But so it's like, how are the most people going to listen to music? Is it, if this immersive comic world exists? Well, I think maybe there's a better shot with that than me just being an artist, a one-on-one, one-dimensional, That's what it is. So more music will come out, more collaborations, because at least there's this thing that exists beyond me. It's not just about, yo, follow me, listen to me, listen to this shit. It's like, no, I'm telling you about this stuff now, but the real joy is just the creation process. I love it. And now my business development department is going to fucking rip. Very excited. And then, what are you, my negotiator?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
If you want to be.
Yeah.
I'll try to negotiate, and then if I have enough bad deals, then I'll bring you on. We'll see how it goes. But, okay, that's about it.
It's cool stuff.
Yeah.
Good updates.
Yeah, that's a good update. I was doing, a few months ago, a weekly, 5-minute video update of the week.
Yeah.
This is way better.
Yeah.
And talking to you was awesome. Talking to you is delightful because I can ramble. And it's not really rambling. I'm just going into it. That's what a podcast is for.
Yeah.
And then you hone it in and ask me really sick questions that make me think, that give the viewer something interesting. So you're a great co-host on this.
Yes.
Who knows if it'll be the MISCHO podcast? Because if MISCHO becomes this character, then maybe the MISCHO podcast, there's a conflict. Because I'm just a dude. MISCHO is this character. So maybe it's just third-party vibes.
Absolutely.
And if you know, you know. Right?
It's cool.
And maybe the podcast, third-party vibes, is in the comic.
Of course.
Know what I'm saying?
Why wouldn't it be?
Know what I'm saying? And you brought up something good last week. You said it's important to ask the viewers to follow, subscribe, hit the notification bell. All of these things help the algorithm. It helps the art that we're creating here.
Yeah.
It helps.
And it helps that, we're not just wasting our time. We'd probably do this regardless, but it's always good to get that validation. And it also enables us to kind of achieve our mission, which is to get all this content out to as many people as possible.
Yeah. And I think this content is great because it lives forever. It's essentially what a lot of creators are going through, and a lot of people who are entrepreneurial. So if you can subscribe, follow, share, all that great stuff really helps a lot.
Yeah.
Comment, because it helps spread the vibes. And essentially what we're doing here is we're being totally open, totally honest. I know in the world, fake it till you make it is a proven thing that works.
Yeah.
But I don't really have that ability to fake it until I make it. So I rather just be transparent till I make it. And I am making it now because I have the ability to do it. So fuck it, I'm doing it.
Love it.
So thank you, fellow time travelers. The album is being pitched this week. So maybe it'll turn up in a movie. Maybe you'll hear it this summer from a big label. Who the hell knows? I just know that I'm happy to have you along for the ride, fellow time travelers. There will be a Galactic Federation membership that will come with the first iteration of the comic book, perhaps the album.
Yeah.
And that is about it, fellow time travelers. So my friend Lockie.
We'll see you next Sunday.
See you next Sunday. Thanks for hanging out. And here's a little dose of Spaced Out.